we're going to be presenting today is the Untethered Classroom. I'm going to go ahead and open up my slides and get that up for you guys. And it's the Unlocking Learning Beyond Boundaries. As you guys know, we have been tasked in our district through a bond, as well as the community and the voters and everybody that you can think of, teachers and principals and oh my goodness, I think even just, grandmas that are sitting in carpool lane. I don't know, everybody was asked about what technology should look like in the district. And so part of that is using technology tools in order to support student learning, which means having teachers, the philosophy of teachers being able to be close in proximity to students. And as we all know, when we are linked right to that Elmo or to the our desktop PC or wherever we are, and that's where we stay, there's a lot of shenanigans that could be going on that if we were able to be a little bit more mobile in the classroom while we're presenting or doing things, could settle some of that down. So here we go. On the first page, there's a link that's right here that says, click this link to save your own copy of this presentation to your drive. So it'll just force a copy of the presentation because I'm going to be going back and forth, showing you what to do with an iPad. So I will be going off of the presentation and doing a lot of real-time interactive work, basically. All right, so that link there, you can make your own copy and you can save it, refer to it later. And here's some more links over here about the Untethered Classroom and then different resources that we have available to you. And we are adding information to this like crazy all the time. So just know that if you don't see something today, you might see it tomorrow. We're going to do everything we can to keep that as updated as possible. All right, so what did people receive in the classroom? Oh, and I'm sorry, I did not introduce my team as well. Clara and Lily, I know, are here for sure. Leah's going to be here soon, and they're going to be helping with answering questions in the chat, because right now I can't see anybody. I can't see the chat. I don't know what's going on. So if anybody from my team needs to interrupt me to repeat something, you're going to have to unmute yourself and let me know, because I can't see a thing.
We got you.
So anyway, so they're there for that. So if you do have some questions, they do it in the chat and they'll be able to help answer. All right, so everybody should be receiving an iPad, USB-C charger, the case, keyboard, wonderful keyboard, and a first generation pencil. We have been getting some information from some of our campuses that there's not all the iPads have been given out to everybody. The intention is for every single teacher to have an iPad. So if you find that there's anybody in your campus who's not giving you your iPad, let us know so that we can rectify that immediately, because you need to be using it now. So who owns the devices? Plano ISD, of course, owns and manages it. The staff, you'll sign in with PISD credentials, not your personal, but you really don't even have to sign in. Totally up to you. You can just use it and go. And apps are definitely not added in the Apple Store. So if you're thinking, I'm going to go to the Apple Store and add some apps, nope, not a thing. And we'll get into it later on exactly what you're going to be, how are you going to add apps. On the side of your keyboard is the charging port. I know it's normal to try to go over on this side to open up this little doohickey and try to charge. If you do that, it just takes forever to pop on and pop off. So we are letting people know that you can charge from the keyboard. And that's where, and so it's very easy to do. If anything is lost or damaged, contact your CTA and they will create a help desk ticket to get that taken care of, to get it replaced. All right. Now, when it comes to installing apps, there is a specific app here that's called Self-Service, and it's pushed out to everybody on their iPads. It looks like that. So if you go to your home screen, you might have to click around or just drag and go to a different screen or whatever you need to do. But mine is at the very top because that's where I put it. But it's called self-service. Okay. And then that is where you would go to in order to find specific apps. You can browse for different apps. And there's two particular apps that we want to make sure that everybody has. One of them is Google Chrome, and the other one is YouTube. So if you go to self-service and search is on the left-hand side, we'll have to tap search. And then in the search field, you can start typing in Chrome. And as you can see, I have Chrome right here. Now I do have to update it, so I'll update it at some point. But if it says uninstall, that means you already have it. But if it says install, then you don't have it and you need to go ahead and install Google Chrome. If it says update, you should update. I'm not going to do that right now because we're presenting, but that's definitely something you should do if you see that you need to update. And then the next one is YouTube. So you start typing in U, and then you'll see YouTube. The one that you should be doing is this one right here. If it says reinstall, that means you already have it. If it says install, you need to go ahead and install that. So those are the two that we have found that some people have and some people may not have. But we want to make sure that you do have it. Alrighty, go back to the presentation. Now, if you need to request an app, you can do that on WebDesk on the iPad request form. So if there's a free app or even a paid app, you would have to request it through here and also give your tag number that's on your iPad of whomever needs it, because they're not going to just push out apps just to everybody willy-nilly, because it kind of really bogs down the system to do everybody all at the same time. So if you know that on your campus or even just you specifically that you need an app, make sure that you have your tag number. It's on it's like a white sticker that's on your iPad or keyboard somewhere, and it'll have the tag number on there. And if the whole entire iPad needs to be updated, and you get like a warning saying, oh, it's time to update, because I did a couple of days ago or yesterday. Know that iPad updates are restricted to after school hours if you're doing this on campus. I just take mine home and I just update it there because sometimes my Wi-Fi at home is like a lot faster than it is up at school. So, but totally up to you. And they will happen automatically as long as you leave it charged in. The automatic update will happen, but updates definitely need to happen, but it's restricted to after school. The apps that are already included would be all the Apple for Education suite of tools. WebDesk is pushed out to you, but it doesn't say WebDesk. Instead of WebDesk, what it looks like is Classlink. You see on my screen here, this little Classlink tile, that is WebDesk. So just to be clear, that's WebDesk. I don't want people to be confused by that. And then there's Google Classroom and Explain Everything. The apps that are recommended are listed under here. And if you click on this link, it's going to lead you to a page on our hotspot. And we'll have in here the ones that we recommend. All right. So we have things on there, and all of our instructions are on here as well. If you have a personal account, do not sign in with your personal account. Don't do that. Otherwise, PISD will be able to view all your personal content. And not only PISD, but if your pictures connect and you accidentally let your iPad go somewhere and children see your personal pictures, think about what that might contain. And I guarantee you, you're not going to want your personal information to be seen by all your students. Okay, so That brings us to the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is a first generation, and the iPads that you have are 10th. So they can work together, but it takes adapters. You have been given all these itty bitty little parts, right? So you've got the cap, and then you have the smaller adapter, the lightning one, then you have the bigger one for the USB-C, and then you have an extra tip. These are itty bitty little parts. We highly suggest that you find some kind of way to keep this organized. I know that a lot of teachers maybe have like a little pouch that they like to put it in. Lily has some beautiful things. I think Claire is probably going to embroider something. They're going to do something very crafty. I am nothing like that. So I have my parts in a Ziploc bag, and that's good enough for me. So whatever works for you is what works for you. But make sure that you keep track of all this, because these can break easily if they actually get stepped on or anything like that. So take care of that. But in order to connect, I have on here, you can connect with Bluetooth. You can open up Bluetooth in your settings. And when you tap on Bluetooth, one of the devices will be the Apple Pencil. I don't have that because I do not have an Apple Pencil right now. We'll get into later why I don't have one. But you can see my TV and everything else. But one of these devices would be Apple Pencil. But if you see that the Apple Pencil, for whatever reason, is not coming up, in order for you to pair it, then what you would do is follow these instructions. I'm going to click on the link here. And you'll scroll down to the instructions that talk about charging an Apple Pencil with a 10th generation iPad. So it just goes 1, 2, 3, exactly what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to hook everything up, how to pair the Apple Pencil. And it's got some tips in there. And it also talks about the battery widget, which we'll get into in just a minute. Okay, so how does it charge? Well, you can charge it with the iPad charger cable that it came with. So the cable that it came with, the little white cable that you guys have to charge, you can charge the Apple Pencil with that as well. And make sure that you keep the pencil charged at least above 5%, or it's going to become inoperable. And that's what happened to me. That's how we found that out. So I let it go down. I didn't charge it for a while. And then Apple said, oh, yeah, that's a known issue. Well, I didn't know it. No one else knew about it. So hence, I don't have a pencil. Don't want that to happen to you. Okay, so keep that charged. The pencil is stored up at the top of your case. It does not charge it there, but you can store it there for short term or during the day. But definitely charge your pencil. We suggest charging the pencil at least once a week. It just depends on how often you use it. It could be once a day. I don't know. You could be using it all day long. So we'll go into how to put the battery widget on your iPad so that you can keep track of that. Now, I've been talking fast and saying a whole bunch of things. Are we doing okay? Anything I need to clarify?
We're doing okay.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty. Now, Apple TV. There is an Apple TV that is on top of every projector that is in the school. And so the Apple TV is able to wirelessly mirror an iPad to a projector on the large screen. You have the ability to demonstrate an application, use it for live demonstrations in labs, as a mobile document camera, using the Apple Pencil to annotate on the screen, charging, and you do need to charge the remote, the silver remote, to turn on the Apple TV that's right here. You are going to have to use the USB charger at least once, I don't know, maybe once every month or something to charge it, or once every 2 months, because really all you're going to use it for is to turn it on. So I don't think you have to charge it that much, but it does take a charge in order for it to work. Now, when everything gets kind of installed on your campuses, and some campuses are experiencing this already, the Elmo is inoperable that you have. It's going to be inoperable with the new Windows 11 and all the new technology that's coming in, so there's not going to be an Elmo replacement. Instead, you will be using your iPad. And so Lily has a couple of little grates here that she put in here as pictures to see how people might use the iPad as a document camera if you have, if you're handling actual physical manipulatives of some kind, then maybe you might want to use this as a solution to help you out. Now, all we know is that there is going to be some sort of an iPad stand that our boss right now is looking at several of them to see which one might be used in some classrooms, but we do not have any information about when they're coming, when they're going to be bought, who's going to be getting them, none of that. We just know that there's some solution that's coming up. Now, the Apple TV cannot stream Netflix or Pandora, but you can play YouTube videos from your iPad and then mirror it to the Apple TV and you're good to go. Any questions about the Apple TV or the Elmos? Are we good? Okay. Okay, so just some little tips for you guys. Consider these tips, to make your teaching workflow go a little smoother. And let me check. The time that I have is to 4:15. Is that correct? 4:30?
4:15, Fern.
Thank you. Okay, so here are some little tips. Move and organize your apps on the home screen. So on the home screen, when you hold your finger down on it and you see that your little apps are jiggling, well, that means that you can move them around. You can do all kinds of fun little things there. And you can put them into folders, all kinds of stuff. And the instructions on how to do that are on this link. So if you tap on that link, it tells you how to move the apps and do all that kind of stuff. Adding the battery display to the home screen. So let me show you how to do that. So you can see in the upper left-hand side, you see I have a battery widget and my iPad is at 100%. If I had an Apple Pencil in the next circle, you would see the percentage of the Apple Pencil. And the way that I get there is I would make everything jiggle. So I would hold my finger down on an empty space and make all the apps jiggle. And then I would click on the plus sign on the upper left-hand side of my screen. And then you'll see batteries on the left side. So I would tap batteries. And the one that I have is not this first one. I slid over and I chose the second one. And then at the bottom, I would add widget. And that is how you put the battery widget on your screen so that you'll know the percentage of your iPad and your Apple Pencil at all times. Okay, display and brightness. Now, when you are teaching in the classroom, it is right now the default is for the iPad to go dark after 2 minutes of inoperability. You probably don't want that because you might be, having to take care of something for a couple of minutes and then try to come back to your iPad. And then all of a sudden it turned dark. You're going to have to redo the pen on the Apple TV. And it just breaks the continuity of teaching. So instead of that happening, what you would do is you would go to settings and then scroll until you see display and brightness. And then in the middle, scroll down. You'll find auto lock and you can change it from 2 minutes and set it to never. So you just tap never and see where the check mark is. And then that sets it until you change it again. So it'll forever be never until you change it again. And so that is how you can solve that issue. And also taking screenshots. Now, if you have your Apple Pencil, you are able to take a screenshot, and you saw me do that a couple of times, by starting at the bottom left corner of the screen and then swiping diagonally up. If you have the pencil and do that, it takes a screenshot. If you don't have the pencil and using your finger, then you would have to go back into settings And once you're in settings, you would go to multitasking and gestures, scroll down, and then you would toggle on swipe finger from corner. Bottom left corner is a screenshot, bottom right corner will be a quick note. Okay, now the new tech in the classroom, it includes the Dell laptop and a laptop stand, an extra keyboard and mouse so that you can type comfortably and use the mouse comfortably, and this beautiful curved 34-inch monitor. It is a slow rollout, so not every campus has it right now, but a lot of them do. Just know that the monitor is what we consider a dumb monitor. It doesn't have any brains to it, no CPU or anything like that. The brains of it would be the laptop. So your laptop is connected right there by these 3 connections. And that is what gives life to the monitor. If you have subs that will need to be able to use your classroom, and you have your laptop at home, they will be able to check out a Chromebook or whatever from the CTA or however your campus does it. There's many different ways to do this. And you can stick a Chromebook right in there as well. All right, so you have your mobile desk that's also there. It is height adjustable. You can move it up and down. Cup holders, it holds the Stanley cups, all kinds of cups. And you have your slots for the remotes and pins, and you have buckets and all kinds of things. And you received a PISD backpack, which is kind of cool. You will continue to have your Lightspeed microphone, and it amplifies the voice. And so you can use all of this as you're walking around the classroom. Now on to the part that I think people have been waiting for, and I only have 15 minutes to do it, and I know I can. All right, so new tools in the classroom for the software. Student creation tools, Canva and Adobe Express, that is available for K through 12 and for staff as well, to be able to use the technology to create. And so those we have on our website a lot of great materials and instructions when it comes to both of those tools. Now for the teacher only, we have real-time annotation software, which is Explain Everything. And in Explain Everything, second here, you will be able to, I'm going to show you in a minute how to use that for your teaching practices. And then you also have interactive content acquisition, which is your Pear deck. And then that's taking Google Slides, making it a Pear deck, and being able to be interactive with the students in the class. All right, so these are the 2 skills that we feel as our team would be great skills to practice in order to be an untethered teacher in Plano ISD. The first skill would be presenting. So kind of doing what I'm doing now. I am presenting right now, and I'm using the iPad to do it. And if I was in the classroom, I would be able to mirror this to my Apple TV and show it on projector, and I can walk anywhere in the classroom and still do this presentation. Now, I happen to be using Google Slides. And the way that I started the Google Slide is I had a Google Slide app. So you can see there that on my home screen, I added slides. So I basically, let me show you what it looks like here. So when I tap on slides, it's obviously showing me the slides now. So what I'm going to do is X on that real quick. So when you first open it up, it just brings you to your slides in your Google Drive, and that's what you have. And I tapped the one that I was going to be using today. And then on the upper right-hand side, there's a little play button. This play button puts it in a presenter mode, so I can say present on this device. So, yep, that's what I'm going to be doing. And then there you go. So now I'm presenting on that device. So that's how you do it with Google Slides. Now with Pear Deck, what I have found the easiest thing to do is to add the website link to your home screen so that you can open up Pear Deck from your Google Chrome. And to me, that is really the only way to do it. So on my home screen, I have added Pear Deck as one of the apps, and that's what it looks like. Not real creative, but it works. And the way that you do that, see, it goes right to my teacher login. And the way that you add a URL or something, you know, a link in Google to your home screen is you click on the share icon, scroll down, and then you'll see add to home screen underneath the print. And that is where you would click, and then it will add an app to your home screen, and you will be able to go right to where you need to go. And so that is how you would run a Pear Deck from your iPad. Okay, next thing is Seesaw. Tap on the Seesaw app. It's as simple as that. And then opens up. So the Seesaw app should be pushed out as well. And when you tap on the Seesaw app, it'll go to your class. I'll do that. There we go. And then you can open up, it just looks exactly like your Seesaw and how it looks on your desktop and everything else. So it looks really great. And you can do whatever you need to do. For Canva, you would go to the Canva app. So it's exactly the same. You find the Canva app. That also should be pushed out to you. If it's not, just go to self-service. And you can present any Canva presentations from your Canva app. PowerPoint 365, it's your 365 account for PowerPoint. So if you have PowerPoints, you just present through the PowerPoint app. And that is it. Same thing. Okay, I offered to show how to access HMH Big Book. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
My book.
My book.
My book.
My bad. Okay. So to get to my book, you would open up WebDesk, which is Classlink. And when you open up Classlink, you got to sign in, do all the things. Of course, I have Duo on everything in the whole world. Yes, it's my device. All right. Okay, so then you would open up HMH. And Amy, make sure I'm going to the right place. Or Rachel. And now this is the admin, but you would go to, I can choose any of these, I think, and go to Teacher's Guide. And then I can go to Content. Here's week 1, lesson 1. Can I do any of these?
You're doing good. Click on identify the claim. Oh, sorry. Or you can click right here on the My Book.
My book, okay. There we go. Is that right?
Perfect.
All right, there we go. So that is how you open that up. And then I'm gonna just get out of here. And the more you practice, the better you're gonna be at opening things up and going around and zooming around. But it takes some practice. But once you do it every day, it actually is not that bad. Okay, so that's how you would do HMH. So that is the skill of presenting. Start there. Don't think to yourself, I've got to do all these things all at the same time. Just start with presenting. And if it is pulling up a Google Slides and that is what you're doing and that is the beginning and end of what you do, great. Start there. You can definitely do that. Now, skill number 2 is kicking it up a notch. Not only are you presenting, but you're going to annotate as well. And that means writing on the iPad. So I kind of put this in a little bit of an order of what's the easiest place to start. and then slightly more difficult. So explain everything, in my opinion, is going to be the easiest place for you to start with your annotating. And I'm actually going to do something on my screen here because I'm going to show you how to do lined graph, blank paper worksheets, and scanned images. All right, here we go. Pray for me, y'all. I've been doing this all at the same time. Okay, so you go to explain everything. Looks like a little curly Q. And that's what the app looks like. And once you sign on to explain everything and you know, say, I'm a primary teacher and I'm signing in with Google, and you answer all the different questions, you get to a screen that looks like this. And the first thing you can do, if you're going to do a lined paper, a graph paper, a blank paper, or something like that, then you would tap on the plus sign where it says new, then blank canvas. And it is what it is. It's a blank canvas. So this is a board where I can just write on a blank canvas. And if I'm mirroring my iPad through the Apple TV, the students will see it. Now, if I wanted to have lined paper, then what I would do is I would tap on the bottom right-hand side, you'll see 2 out of 2. If I tap on that, and then I tap on the rectangle that has like lines, diagonal lines in it, you'll see at the bottom it says pattern. Right now it's none, but I'm going to change it to lines. And then the upper right-hand side, I'm going to tap done. And I'm just going to apply it to my current slide. So now I have lined paper, and I can make it college rule, wide, whatever I want to do there. And I can start writing this way. And as you can see, I can't write at all, and I'm terrible at it. But I don't have a pencil. But you would have a pencil, and you'd be able to write very, very nicely on here. And so now you have lined paper that you can write with. You can do the same thing if you need graph paper. So basically, you would just go through all the same things, and then you would choose grid. There's your graph paper. And then you can do whatever you need to with graph paper. And you can do the same thing, making it bigger or smaller, whatever you need to do. Now, let's say that you needed to have a worksheet or a scanned image. I'm going to show you a scanned image first. So if you need to scan an image, let's say that there is either a student writing something, or you just want to take a picture of something that's in a book and you want to annotate on it. On the left side at the very top, you'll see it looks like 2 pieces of paper with a plus sign on it. That's the insert. So I'm going to insert, and I'm going to scan at the, or I'm going to just move this to the top until I see scan. So I'm going to tap scan. And I'm going to position this book right there. Now, obviously my scan is terrible, but I can insert this scan. And like I said, mine's terrible. But you can have it where you're not shaky and all sorts of kind of stuff. And then you can manipulate this however you want to. You can highlight. Who highlights in black? That's weird. There you go. And do whatever you need to there. You can talk about that as a class and say, hey, can you guys, I'm going to identify the verbs in the color blue. Let's identify the adjectives in red, whatever that you want to do there. And you can do that by scanning a page, student work, whatever you want to do. Now, if you wanted to, for example, I'm going to get out of this project for just a minute, and I'm going to make a new one here. Let's say that I wanted to use a worksheet. You can attach your Explain Everything to your Google Drive and pull up worksheets. Or, and I think this is a little faster, or you can just open up your Google Drive, and then you can find I'll do this one, a document. And then what you would do is you would click on the three dots on the upper right-hand side, click on share and export, send a copy. It's going to be a PDF. You press OK. And when you scroll to the right, you might have to choose more, but one of the choices will be explain everything. And then I'm going to insert that. And then there you go. You can manipulate it however you want to. Zoom in, zoom out, highlight, write, whatever you want to do. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, and there's so much more you can do to explain everything. Another thing is, you see at the bottom, there's a record button. Everything that I'm doing, I could record. And then after I record, I can press the share button at the upper right-hand side, export it. I can export that as a video, name my video, and then when I tap export, I'm able to choose Google Classroom I can export it to. Look, there's Amy at the top there. That's fun. But I can put that in Google Drive, wherever I need to put it.
Hey, Fern.
Yes.
There are a couple people in the chat that are asking if you can show that again, please.
Which from Google Drive to explain everything?
Yeah, how you can share it to from Google Drive to explain everything, please.
Absolutely. So I did it with a Google Doc. Now I'll do it with a Google Slide, because you can do it with both, and it's the exact same steps. So let me get out of that. And I'm going to open up one that's not, what is this? Oh, okay, here we go. So let's say that I'm going to be doing this. There's three dots on the upper right-hand side. It looks like two right now because I have this little arrow here, but there's three dots. When you do that, you click on share and export, and then send a copy. It's going to be defaulted to PDF. You press OK. And then on the kind of in the middle, you would drag this menu over until you get to more, and then tap on explain everything. From that point, at the bottom, you'll see insert, and you're good to go. So the slides will be there one at a time. You see I have 1 through 29 at the bottom right. There we go. Then I can do whatever I want. Okay, I see it's 4:16. I only have just a couple of more here. On Pear Deck, let me get out of this for just a second. Where did I put it in? Okay, so on my next thing, I have where it has Pear Deck. Let me open up my Untethered Classroom here. And on Pear Deck, if you take a screenshot, you can do that. Or if you run your Pear Deck in Safari instead of Google Chrome, then you can use markup and you can annotate that way. Let's see, for Seesaw, you can annotate with just the embedded tools that are within Seesaw, because you saw when I opened up, it looks exactly the same. So you can use the tools there. For Canva, you can export a Canva presentation as a PDF straight to explain everything. So if you have Canva opened up, and you have a presentation, I can share this as a so save as PDF, and I tap download, and then it downloads. This is so cute, introducing the ocean. This is a free one that I found. They just have so many great templates. And then from here, I'll do the exact same thing I did with Google. I clicked on more and then explain everything. And then it just will add the slides. And then for PowerPoint, PowerPoint has embedded annotation tools that are within it. So if you had a PowerPoint, and it's PowerPoint 365, you got to remember that. And you open that up and you press play to start, there is an annotation tool at the upper right-hand side. And you'll be able to draw and do whatever and highlight and all the things. So that's it.